Hey everybody, Christine here. I just thought I'd kind of talk a little bit about what we did on Samhain. Um, First off, we had a lot of trick-or-treaters. We got started late this year because I had to drive 3 hours, get my kids from my ex, and we meet at a halfway point between where we live. So that took up a lot of time. And we got back about 7:45, so we quickly threw costumes on, and there were already trick-or-treaters at the door. And I gave out things like not only candy, but also gave out little Halloween rubber ducks and pencils, Halloween erasers, Halloween stampers, and the kids got to grab from the candy bucket and from the toy bucket. We even had one mom really irritated because I wouldn't let her kid take 6 rubber ducks. Well, the packs of rubber ducks are more expensive than packs of candy, so I only had so many, and I told her kid, only take one because we got to save for everybody else, and I was really nice about it, but she was kind of ticked off. And it's like, well, excuse me, he can't just take all of one toy and leave nothing. I could have easily just shut my doors, and not given out anything at all, so... Again, why people get so pissed off about free, I don't know. There seems to be this entitlement as soon as there's free involved that they just take whatever they want and screw everybody else. That's not the way it works. If somebody offers you free stuff, don't be an ass about it. That said, I had a friend of mine over and her daughter, they just recently... within the last couple weeks, wound up homeless, and Halloween night, of course, was absolutely freaking freezing. It's Minnesota. It's going to get worse. So, I was able to have them here for showers and a good hot meal. And then, out of the blue, we were playing video games and just having fun, and the kids got to have time together and that. But just out of the blue, I started grabbing things because I just felt inspired, and I whipped together this altar upstairs that's not in my altar room. But this is on our huge built-in sideboard in the kitchen, or in the dining room. And, it's built into the walls. There's there's the walking staff and a ski I painted over there, and a staff I carved. But yeah, a lot of our glassware and... our alcohol, which we're not heavy drinkers. We don't barely drink at all, which is the funny thing. So most of our stuff has like flavor, or I cook with it is the other one. I love cooking with like Merlot and stuff. So no, we're not raging alcoholics, but we do have it on display because I love colored glass. I love reflections of things. And I think like some of these bottles are pretty. And then there's my fiance's wooden mug from the Renaissance Festival. And our soda stream. And yes, that thing does work, by the way. It's fantastic. Anyway, just whipped together a ritual. It was my first time ever holding a public, well, more than just myself or my kids' ritual. I had to have help from my friend because she's used to participating with a coven, and... has done a lot more than me. But this was my first time ever actually holding it. And our theme was of letting go, letting things go to the universe, and also to try and bring betterment and prosperity to her so that she can get a place to stay. And then we also went through and got lists of shelters and soup kitchens and, places where she can start getting assistance from programs or something. She's in her late 50s, so things are a little harder as far as getting stuff together is concerned. And so we did spend some considerable time doing that as well. But the ritual itself, for Samhain, it was an awful lot of fun. We stayed in our costumes throughout the whole thing. We did do a dedication to Dionysus as well. We even had a blessed shot of Jaeger here. So I was a little hungover the next morning too, because we did imbibe, and our ritual drink actually was alcohol. And again, it was just really good tasting stuff. I left the Jaeger for my fiance, but I ended up having it instead, and I slept like a log. Imagine. I don't have a tolerance for alcohol, so we were very, very light on it as well, and that was just our ritual wine thing, which it was, for a new year, it was great. You know, sadly, the whole situation around her is hard, and we were able to give up things to the universe, and we wrote down words that we wanted to have disappear from our lives. And each one of us had a piece of paper, and we had the same thing for the world too. Things that can be let go of, and to make room for new things to come in, for better things to come in, to get rid of any negativity that was hanging on from the last year. And then we burned them on the candle and had the ashes inside the shell there. And I also smudged the house at the same time because we hadn't had that opportunity before. And so the plant over here received the you know, the leftover salt blessed water and stuff like that. I used Himalayan salt, the pink rock salt, for the blessings. I always do that for my rituals. And then, of course, there's drying sage. It came fresh from somebody's garden that very morning. And things to represent just strength and sending the messages quickly to the gods. And of course, Bast had to make her presence. You know, I've got that beautiful Bast statue there. I showed the chariot statue before, and that's my friend's candle, the 7-day candle there. I'm going to, when I'm off again, I'm going to burn it some more. Unfortunately, I'm working an awful lot this week, so, but that's kind of it. We had a good time. There was some sadness, and there was happiness, and it was about family and friends, and I was pretty excited to hold my very first ritual, which was very eclectic, you know, because a lot of my background is Native and German, and then she's from a Greek Reconstructionist coven, and so it was just kind of a mix. And we're actually thinking that there might come a time where we have our own coven that is eclectic and allows people who are solitaries and eclectics to come and just, you know, have a night of a fun ritual where everybody gets together and we accomplish whatever the goal is for that night, and not super specific rules or anything, you know, and family friendly, which sometimes is very hard to have when you have little kids around. It can be very difficult. And then the jar there, I thought I'd talk about that really quick. I'll have to find out from my fiance what the website is. This is our money jar. We're just starting. It's a 52-week money-saving challenge. Okay, it's at Goods Home Design, one word, .com. And if I remember, I'll put the description down later. And what they have is they have this big table. Every single week you put away money. The first week is $1, second week is $2, third week is $3, fourth is $4, etc. And by the end of this, when you're only depositing $52 at the 52nd week, in that jar you'll have $1,378. This is something that's very, very doable, even if you're on the tightest of budget. To sacrifice that, you know, those weeks where you just put in a little bit more and a little bit more, and then you stop at $52. This can be done by anybody, and then suddenly you have a large chunk of change to do whatever with. And I think this is a really fantastic idea. So we're giving it a shot, and you know, the bottle, the jar, I was planning on doing a money jar anyway, you know, prosperity jar. So this is our prosperity jar. And like I said, if I remember, I'll plunk the website up so you guys can do the same thing. This is such a reasonable thing to do. It's not as taxing as you'd like to think, you know. But anyway, that's it. Blessed be everybody. Have a fantastic weekend, left a weekend, and the rest of the week. Love you. Bye.